I think you can probably tell it's, I'd say at the moment it's a bit of a mixture between Brummie and Black Country, because there is a difference, even though a lot of people don't think there is. But mainly Black Country.
My accent, I would say, is local to where I live. I don't really know what to call it. South England sort of accent.
My accent is Mancunian. However, growing up in London, it made it way softer than it used to be.
I don't think I have one. Possibly because I do find, depending who I'm with, I start to drift into mimicking almost theirs.
My accent has changed a little bit and has just become more mild. It's still there, but it's milder.
It's a dialect. So like I write my answer, I write my treasure, I write my bird, and
people jovially assume that I love Oasis and the Stone Roses because I'm from Manchester. It might be slightly true, but mainly as a nostalgic thing, I'd say.
I think the main one is that Brummies are thick, and I do understand it, because when I listen to my accent or somebody that talks like me, I don't know what it is about the accent, whether because it's slow or because it just does sound like you're thick.
I wouldn't say there's too many stereotypes attached to my accent. I have been called like posh boy or something like that in the past. However, I think that's more to do with the fact of where I was raised.
I suppose it's that word posh again, isn't it? It's the lady on the tea trolley that comes along that says, oh, this is the posh corridor or something.
I don't know. I think, let's be positive as well. People associate it as quite a friendly accent, because I think it is. It's a warm, friendly accent. Some other accents in the country are maybe not quite as warm sounding. So on the plus side, I definitely think that's another stereotype.
Scousers, they've just got the stereotype of being criminals, haven't they? I've got that off the TV, but just like when I hear a Scouse accent, like if it's a footballer or someone talking on the TV, I do think like, oh, bit of a lad,
I suppose I do attach stereotypes to regional accents. Been lucky enough to come close contact with regional accents, bearing in mind my wife is from the Midlands. However, coming from the south, anything north of London we refer to as a northern accent.
I don't know if I think I do attach stereotypes to accents. I'd like to not, but for example, I hate my own accent. I always wished I could have speak in a different way, and if I hear myself speaking, I cringe. I just don't like the way I talk and my accent.
I'd like to say no. I possibly did more when I was younger, and hopefully now I'm older, I'm a bit wiser. I love regional accents. I love the Dorset accent. And I do find any accent actually really fascinating.
I remember when I was a kid, actually, what I used to dream about is to be a chocolate taster. I don't even think that's a real job, but for some reason I thought there must be somebody in like the Cadbury's factory or whatever that has to taste the chocolate before it goes out to the public.
In terms of a job, when I was younger I really wanted to be a journalist. Then I decided that ethically it wasn't a good choice, because basically you have to harass people. So I had a bit of crisis of conscience on that one and changed my mind.
As a kid, I always wanted to be a police officer, and in 2006 I became a police officer, and I've been doing that for the last 15 and a half years. However, my ultimate dream job was always, and still is, but never going to happen, become a professional footballer. But unfortunately wasn't good enough to do that.
I have no idea, because I fell into the one I'm doing and I'm still doing it after decades, so maybe that was it.
And I haven't personally felt criticised because of my accent, nor do I think it puts me at a disadvantage. I think the Mancunian accent has a certain element of charm to it that people often love.
People think you're rich. Little do they know that sometimes you're struggling to make ends meet.
A lot of people make fun of you, like, and do impressions of you to you.
And I've never been asked to modify my accent in the workplace. The only thing I have been asked to modify at the workplace is my choice of words and language, sometimes forgetting where I am and the role that I do perform.
And even if you think about the rest of the world and how they view an English accent, it's very posh, very plummy, very much like the Queen. I blame the royal family, to be honest. I don't really. I think that's where it's all stemmed from. And actually, considering we're such a small country, the UK has got such a diverse range of accents. And I think it should be celebrated more, with it both within the country and across the world. And I'm not sure that it is.
It was fairly painless.